Nowadays, life is intertwined with technology. Let's figure it out. Welcome to Life, Tech, and Sundry. Welcome to welcome to Life, Tech, and Sundry. Tonight, it's gonna be the big three. Myself, of course, Marcos. Mike, or Fanman.
Privet, Ziem.
And Richard.
Hola, buenas noches y bienvenidos a Sábado Gigantic.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go in, and we're gonna go in hard and fast. No, not fast, just hard. What these...
Sonic likes it fast.
Yeah,
I always come first.
What he said about Sonic. Let's keep it PG. I'm the first one that broke that rule, so don't worry about it.
Nothing's PG with me.
Anyways. So
PG means penis. I'm sorry.
Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna go in first with the classic, the slow, not the classic, the classic. Words are hard right now. But yeah, so
it's not the only thing hard.
We're gonna go in and go with the show notes for today. If you will, Mike, please, for number one.
Okay. Do you want me to do a regular voice or Sonic voice?
No,
or
regular
narrator voice.
Regular voice, please. We've only had narrator voice, so I'd like to hear your regular voice for one of these.
Okay. Did we receive a message from a planet orbiting the nearest star? This is my actual regular voice. Alright. A radio blip, seemingly from Proxima Centauri, where an Earth-sized planet world orbits in the habitable zone, is tantalizing, but it's probably not a signal from aliens. It's not a signal from aliens, then what is it? Let's find out. On December 18th, 2020, Ian Sample of The Guardian, not Guardians of the Galaxy, published a report about a tantalizing radio signal at 982.002 megahertz that was detected within the Breakthrough Listen project by the Parkes telescope in Australia from the nearest star to the sun, Proxima Centauri. This infrared star hosts an Earth-sized planet, Proxima b, in its habitable zone, where liquid water could allow the chemistry of life on the planet's surface. There was no scientific paper accompanying the report, and therefore, it's too early to draw any inferences. Astronomers must verify that the signal cannot originate from radio interference on Earth or some natural emission mechanism. Terrestrial interference should be different for telescopes at different locations on Earth. If the radio source repeats and resides on Proxima b, then it should show an 11-day modulation associated with the planet's orbital and spin period. As soon as I saw the news report, I wrote to the publisher of my forthcoming book, Extraterrestrial on the Search for Intelligent Life. We might have friends out there. Better than a 5-star review is getting reassurance for the book's content from an actual star on the sky.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. I hope it is.
Yeah.
Indeed an alien signal.
But then the question is, how long did it take to get there, and from how far back then did it come from? Because remember, these things take time, so it was probably like years before we even existed as humans.
As humans.
How far is the Proxima Centauri? What is it? Proxima Centauri?
Proxima b?
Yeah, Proxima b.
Distance 4.24 light years.
So 5. Let's go for 4.5 years away. So,
but that's light years.
No, that's light years. So that means an entire year. It would take light an entire year to travel that far.
We don't send our radio signals at the speed of light, then?
No. We've been over this in another podcast. Oh. No, radio signals are significantly slower.
Yeah, very slow. They're one of the slowest.
Light is the fastest correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this.
No,
Light is both matter and a wave, right?
Yeah, it's
think so.
carries. Yeah, okay. It's an energy and a wave. No, how does it go?
Yes, it's both right. An energy and matter at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. So light travels the fastest. It's saying that it. So when you read, how far is it again?
4.24 light years.
Yeah. So when you read 4.24 light years, that means it would take 4.20 years for light to travel.
Yes.
So you can use that as like the distance from where we are to it, and how long it would be. So that signal?
Yes.
If it was just like, let's say, a laser being shot from Proximus and Proximity B, it would be a laser that is 4.2 billion years old, right?
Damn.
Is it billion?
What did you say, billion or million?
4.2.
I don't know. I'm trying to look up. Like, it just says they don't give it by years; they give it by distance. Is the problem?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
So did we get our text messages? Like, did we read them so late that they're not even there anymore?
So
it could be. Yeah, it's definitely an old signal, especially since it's a radio signal.
Yeah,
it's definitely a very old signal.
So it's not our fault. It's their fault that they send it so in a slow method.
I want to say it's both our fault and their fault, since radio is kind of low tech.
Yeah,
I'd say.
So this is more of, I mean, the universe naturally emits also radio signals, and that
is true. Yeah,
that's what the telescope guys, all those astronomers are trying to suss out what's not a natural occurring thing and what's a man-made, quote unquote, made thing.
Right. So they're trying to verify if it is indeed a signal originating from that planet by tracking the signal over 10 days, 10 or 11 day period. 11 if that signal, the trail of that signal arcs to what would be like the orbit of a planet.
Yeah.
There's no way a coincidence can happen that frequently, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, and they're keeping their ears out, their feelers. So get excited, basically.
But
if this signal was from aliens, how do you think they'd look?
Fingers crossed. You already know. Yeah, we already
know. We're Cat Girl Gang, rise up.
No, what's the whole thing that anything becomes an anime girl, like a soda can, all those things, or the
bimbofication?
What?
Bimbofication?
No, that's something else. It already started as a female.
That sounds like something more trashy.
Yeah.
You mean
don't insult the neckos by saying bimbofication.
Neckofication?
No, it's something else. Remember that they were doing the PS5 Chan and
personification?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, personification. That works too? Something. I was thinking more like anthropomorphized PS5.
Or Earth
You'll
Chan.
Never see it coming.
Hey, shout out to Merryweather Comics. I do love those the PS5 Chan and Switch Chan and
those
Xbox.
are funny. I like it.
Oh, is that the one also? I'm thinking of the PC, where he's friends with all the other consoles.
PC's the master one.
Talking about cute anime girls, man.
Any hole is a hole, as long as consent is the goal.
No. But yeah, no. Cat girls, fox girls, all those kind of girls, and just plain girls. Why not throw in the pureness of girls? Of females.
I think it would be cute if they did have feelers, little Shrek-like antennas on their head,
and just the Shrek-like antennas. Nothing else from Shrek, hopefully.
Nothing else. Maybe the green skin. Maybe, but that's pushing it.
Okay.
But yeah, I do hope it's an alien signal.
Yeah, but it also depends. If it is an alien signal, then that
Yeah.
means they sent out radio waves a long time ago.
They're gone.
And
Yes,
but think of it this way, like late years is the fastest thing, but it's still a long time from another planet.
and
Yeah,
super
that
far.
means- We can assume it was sent out like probably a couple 100,000, maybe a million years ago.
In between us not existing and there
I
being
want to say
dinosaurs.
at least 3 times the time it took for light to travel.
Yeah,
Right. Is that a fair assumption?
I think
That's-
so.
So you're saying that by the time the pyramids were being constructed, the other civilization had already a long time ago sent the radio signal, and we probably didn't receive it. Imagine
Yeah.
all the other ones that we lost in that time frame.
Yeah, so like if we can assume the time frame of that, like we didn't start developing radio signals till like what, late 1800s, early 1900s.
Early 1900s.
Yeah, so that means if we can assume like the timeline of us lining up with them when they probably sent it out was maybe when we were developing the pyramids, maybe it could have been older than that, and they were already sending out radio waves. If they, by any assumption, didn't nuke themselves to like
Us,
extinction or something.
they didn't pull on us in the Cold War, or they actually pulled on us in the Cold War, and it went hot.
Would pulling at us in the Cold War mean stopping a Cold War, or like going full on and making
Full
it a
hot.
hot war?
Yeah.
Okay, a hot war.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't clarify.
Yeah, so like if they didn't like nuke themselves or whatever to like extinction, that means, or like causing their environment to like a mass extinction like what we're heading towards it.
Right.
They are
That,
probably now more advanced
Hopefully.
technology wise.
You're talking about that theoretical threshold where civilization so advanced will ultimately be its own undoing.
Kill itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hopefully they reach the enlightenment of
Extra thick!
Maybe it's Aku sending us a signal.
Oh damn.
like it or hate it, Aku in Samurai Jack was progressive, or could it be that whatever that future that we saw with Aku being, himself and removing Samurai Jack from the equation for those thousands of years, he was progressive enough to bring in other civilizations.
It's true. He did want to rule over everyone equally.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was evil, but he wanted to rule everyone. He didn't exclude anyone, as far as I remember.
What do you think the future would be if once Aku is gone? What we don't know. Samurai
Well-
Jack isn't eternal. Aku was.
Well, the thing is, it's like technically Aku does not exist anymore. He wasn't killed in the future. He was killed
Yeah.
in the past.
That's what Frosty's saying. What would be the timeline of after Aku is killed?
It's the
What is
full
the new
Dragon Ball Z conundrum.
What would the future be like?
The Trunks story arc.
Didn't it technically not exist anymore?
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't.
That's
But
what he's saying. What
what
is
will
the
it be?
future without Aku? How would that turn out?
everyone in our brains are gonna have that full imagination. Jack is gonna die, 100%.
Well, yeah, old age.
Yeah, he's inevitably human, or is he
Wait.
still cursed with the non-aging
Yeah, he
spell?
could still be cursed by the time travel spell.
What if he is Aku and he kills himself? Have you thought about that one? If he became the ultimate evil because he can't die.
He lived for so long that it like another Big Bang happened.
And
he was
that-
still
And he
alive.
becomes Aku.
Yeah, and then he goes back in time and he's the one that's like, no, I must stop the development of the sword. And the whole backstory.
Or it just goes into a full loop.
That's what I'm
and then a
saying.
full loop. And then it's one of those he
The big
lives
O.
long enough to see himself become the bad guy.
Like in programming, the big O.
What's
The
the
big-
big O?
It
That
just
show?
the compiling goes to the nth degree instead
Oh,
of
I was thinking of that anime show then.
no,
Yeah, I'm
that's
pretty
my
sure
sample.
It was the anime show, but yeah, he said it was the programming Big O. So
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't think it was the anime show.
Got the
When-
big O notation.
Yes, the big O notation.
Is it called the Big O notation because it's like, oh no, this is bad?
Basically,
Yeah.
it never compiles, right? It never finishes, right?
I'm trying to remember how it goes because I know So how the O notation goes, it's you always want a notation of 1, basically direct access. That's always the fastest. N is the second fastest. And then afterwards, once you start getting into the logs, then you're in trouble.
Or the exponentials.
Yeah, those are even worse. No, wait. Which one's the worst?
Exponential is worse. Logs are better, aren't they?
Yeah. Logs are better. Exponential is worse. Thank you.
This is my TED Talk. Number 2. Do you want to go, Richard, or should I go?
Sure.
What do you want to do?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. So for our second show note, how long does it take to become immune after you get the COVID vaccine? Here's what to know. An infectious disease research explains how people reach 95% immunity when it's safe to see other friends and family again. One will move to a new normal and more. When will the country be back to some sort of normal? First off, I don't really think we'll ever get back to like a quote-unquote normal.
You're right.
It'll be a new normal.
It'll be the new normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to wear masks from now on whenever I'm sick.
The Asian thing, the Japanese thing of when you have the flu.
Just
I
like
think I might use it during work. I haven't gotten a sinus infection in a year now. I love it.
It's
Yes.
great. Not
Good,
being sick
yes.
right here. I've worn them before, just like as a fashion thing. Again, going back to like the Japanese thing, I always thought face masks were cool.
Or were you hiding from doing that crime?
Maybe.
Or were the Cowboys? Or were the Cowboys just ahead of their time and were protecting the others? And they were socially distancing, keeping everyone away from with their pistols. Like, stay away, 6 feet or more. 6 feet up, 6 feet apart, or 6 feet deep.
And they were responsible. You can't have a prairie of galloping horses if you're not 6 feet away from each other. When you fall, then all your bros will fall too.
Anyways, continue, please.
Okay, continuing on. So the goal is for that to happen by midsummer. I don't think that'll happen by midsummer. Crossing the fields will happen by midsummer. Because then we can go to Otakon.
Otakon's not happening this year.
Bristow. Did it get canceled already?
No, but I can tell you it's not going to happen.
You're calling
man.
it.
Don't jinx it. Don't call it, man. That made me sad. All right.
I'll make sure to answer the phone.
Bristow, right? That's his name?
Yes, yes.
Bristow says, but the US is currently well behind their targeted goals for vaccinations. The Trump administration fell far short of its promise to vaccinate 20 million Americans by the end of December. They're really
no surprise there.
No surprise.
10%? Damn, what?
We allowed to curse on this podcast?
Yes, it's explicit.
Yeah, fuck Trump. I hate them. All of them.
Yeah, anyway, if people basically tune out from this podcast because we're talking trash about Trump, then those are the viewers we probably don't want.
There's a good saying that one of my favorite duo said. They do like a Mobile Suit Gundam breakdown podcast, and I believe they said, if we cannot do this without fascists' money, then we should not be doing this at all. All right.
Okay.
That's what they said. That's what they had to say when the Capitol was stormed. All right. Yep. Trump administration messed up. Fell far short. Promise. Yep. 20 million Americans in December. Instead of reaching just 2.7 million, President-elect Joe Biden has stated that he wants 100 million doses given in his first 100 days in the office. Hope he succeeds.
That's a lofty goal.
It's pretty high. But the issue is vaccine rollout and vaccine hesitancy, and being able to get shots in arms to get transmissions down enough for us to start feeling normal again, Bristow says. So I work at a pharmacy. I'm not going to say which one.
Yeah.
But it is looking nice because we're finally getting training on how to help people when the vaccines do come to our stores. Hopefully will be soon. I think, if I remember correctly, the reading was like they should be here by April, and I think even then that's too far away. So hopefully things turn out well. I actually had my my vaccine appointment scheduled already. I think Fanman has his scheduled already too.
Yep, I got mine in February. I won't say the date on the podcast, but it is in February.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
qualify.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I'm too healthy and too young at the same
You're
time.
too healthy. You're too gorgeous.
You guys
Yeah.
tell me how it's gonna feel on the other side. I got a cousin though that already got her shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's
Congrats
been
to your
having
cousin.
this. Huh?
Congrats to your cousin.
Yeah, no, she's been feeling the side effects though.
I mean, yeah, that's expected.
Yeah.
Vaccines will always affect people differently.
Like the flu
Yeah.
shot and all those things. She had like the red face.
Did she
what
get both doses, or she only get the first one so
The
far?
first one so far.
I
Okay.
doubt very few people, except for like, docs and elected officials, got their second dose already.
hmm
What was I going to say? I do know that when I do get the vaccine, I'm definitely going to pump my body full of like
Alcohol.
airborne supplements,
Airborne.
just to get that like whole process done a little quicker.
Yeah, I think-
Yeah.
You know.
I
Hopefully
think
we'll
it's vitamin D is what you want to
Yes.
help fight off corona type viruses. So
vitamin
have
B or D.
not-
sufficient
not
vitamin
a-
D.
Yeah.
It helps against fighting off
Well,
COVID.
To be the actual correction on it, it's not to like help fight it off. It's to help minimize the effects of it.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean when I say fight it off.
Yeah. Yeah, we for like this the kind of thing. Like I want to make sure we like say proper
Yeah,
information,
sure.
things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Just as a also hearsay, I thought it was hearsay, but turns out I got proved from two people. One from my
Hearsay?
cousin, a hearsay, like whispers in the wind, One from my cousin, right? That
Cool,
she's a nurse, and the other one from my eye doctor, my ophthalmologist.
Mhm.
I heard hearsay first from my cousin that allegedly the different blood types get affected differently, either worse or the virus is more effective.
I do
Yeah.
remember people saying things about that too.
Yeah, I remember-
People who are O blood like got affected less, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it was like what was it, like after April or May when things were starting to info was coming out about the coronavirus that was affecting people. That kind of thing was like coming out.
From my ophthalmologist, he said that turns out that A type get affected, more heavily.
I, being the ultimate monkey brain onga bonga caveman, do not remember my blood type.
That's okay
So-
because not
Why
only
not?
do I not remember, I actually don't know it because no one has told me. No
I
matter
know
how
my
Surely
blood
that
type.
can't be the case. You've gone to doctors plenty of times.
Yes, and every time I've always asked, "What is my blood type?" and they go, "Oh, we never, ran the test to like say what your blood type is." And I'm like,
What do
"Really?"
you mean? You definitely get blood samples,
On the
all the
regular.
time. right?
But none of them on there has ever shown me what my blood type is, and I've always asked, and no one has given me a straight answer.
I've,
You know,
And then no one has told me what my blood type is.
yeah,
It must
no.
mean you're not straight.
The way that I got my blood type result was not on the arm, kind of being, when they put the whole tube on your
Call
arm.
that a don't.
I got it on that on your finger when they do the diabetes test.
Yeah.
Not here. Boo! A long time ago. Even I wasn't even in this country when I got that blood type test. Turns out I'm A positive.
Oh yeah.
Everyone except for in this household that I'm in right now, is A positive except for my dad. My
Oh,
dad is A negative. O negative. And then
what a Nancy Downer.
and then
Deb-
when I went last week to my cousin's house to talk with my uncle and all those things.
Yeah.
Everyone in that household is O, either positive or negative, except for my brother and I that were there. Everyone else was O positive or O negative. I'm like, we're the weirdos here.
Oh.
We were the negative Nancy's there.
There is a chance I might also be A positive because both my mom and my sister, they are A positive, but then my dad is a different blood type.
You are pretty positive, Fanman.
Even though my soul is pretty negative.
You're mean positive.
Yeah, man. Seriously, don't jinx Otakon.
No.
Listen, man. They're already canceled Anime NYC.
Yeah, they did.
For this year?
Yeah, for October, I think, right?
It's already been canceled.
Wait, what? Did you share this at all on any of our group chats?
I feel like I did.
He's sharing it right now.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm sharing it now. But yeah, it's canceled because they're going to be using the Javits Center as a vaccination thing in the future.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Then Otacon's probably going to be canceled too.
You forgot about that?
The convention centers are still being used as
Hospital things.
Fine, that's understandable.
They were being used as hospital areas as well for a while. I think they still are.
They definitely are. Some of them are. I know the setup in Westchester still is going to be used for a vaccination center.
Yep.
Remember all the tents at the Westchester County Center?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. But like, understandably so.
Yeah.
I do hope Colossal Con still goes on. Then that's still a water. No, but I wouldn't want to be in a water park.
I do not trust going to Colossal Con more so than going to like Otakon, because it is a hotel for 3 days and it's not even like you get to go outside for a little while for some fresh air. It is everything is densely packed. That is a coronavirus hotspot right there.
Yeah, everyone has to prove that they've been vaccinated twice at least.
Yeah.
Yes, that is like you have to have at least been vaccinated a month before Colossal Con.
It's like nerds are kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
You've seen the ball pits.
Oh, I've never seen the ball pits, thankfully. I've just heard of them.
Yeah. So yeah, Colossal Con is like another year, no matter what. That should be another year. That should not be this year.
And imagine taking pictures with the cosplayers at Anime Expo or Comic Con. You're at risk, or you're putting the other person at risk.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't do group photos with like random people anymore.
Oh, I already told you this, Fanman, but my next cosplay is for the first post COVID convention we go to.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, they're going to be helmets.
Disney, right?
Face covered.
They were selling face covers, but they were like not Mandalorian and all those guys, the Star Wars guys' helmets.
Yeah, like that'd be really cool. Like I'm gonna have a
like
helmet all the time.
Roger.
Yeah, but I don't want to do I don't want to do Star Wars for an anime.
Oh, it's not gonna be Star Wars, bro. It's just gonna be like Knights helmets, like the what is it? Apocalyptic punk aesthetic too.
Or
they
the
have,
DC Universe, the Manta Ray.
So they have like gas masks.
Face masks full on.
Yeah, we'll come up with a lot of things. Don't worry, Fanman. We'll be like Norman Reedus, the fetus. Walk through.
Norman Reedus yeets the fetus.
Yeah,
Damn.
Norman Reedus eats the fetus. Walk through the Americatus.
Okay.
Die Hard, man.
Yeah. Number. I'll go for number
can I
3.
read that one?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. All right. NVIDIA and AMD addresses the great GPU shortage. It's not great news. This week, NVIDIA and AMD finally have some updates, and it's bittersweet news. On the plus side, AMD tells The Verge it expects to sell more of its reference design RX 6800, 6800 XT, and the RX 6800 XT cards on its website in the first quarter of 2021 at their sticker prices, which should mean $579, $649, and $999 instead of inflated ones. But AMD is only committing to making them available to as many gamers as possible, which may not reassure buyers who felt AMD had a paper launch to begin with. NVIDIA, meanwhile, is now saying that supplies of its GPU to both consumers and partners will likely remain lean through quarter one. We're not even talking about the first quarter of the year. NVIDIA's fiscal quarter one doesn't end until late April. That's a long wait.
It is a long way.
Yeah, I mean, so what are your guys' theories right now that the whole purchasing situation or the shortage of late 2020?
I'm not caught up to it at all. Is it just COVID related? Like manufacturing just has been really slow because of COVID?
Pretty much. That's what affected it at first.
You know what I'm thinking?
But also, like, more people building computers nowadays.
Yeah, ever since the quarantine, people have been buying more computers. So now people are like getting more into like the building and everything.
A higher supply, a higher demand, I mean.
Yes. And the other thing is when people first get into the whole building a computer thing, unless you have someone who's been building computers for years, more often than not, people will actually get into the whole buying the most latest things instead of like, hunting for like deals on like motherboards or like, buying reused refurbished stuff. And then like testing to testing to make sure that they all run fine. And
like
then
buying a console, they don't care about it. Like they want the latest and greatest. It just works. But PCs don't. It's super customizable.
Yes, like with PCs, you can get a very decent build with reused parts that can still last you a couple years. Like my PC, almost everything that's in there is basically reused. And it's only ran me without the if it wasn't for the RGB parts on it, it'd be about $500.
Which is the price of a console, if lower, I think, right?
Yeah, and it can actually still play like more recent games, like on medium to high settings.
Can it play Cyberpunk?
Oh,
I don't know yet.
Can it play Windows
PC just yet?
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020?
No.
Nothing can play that right now, right? Nothing can play that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Can play that.
But yeah, so personally, putting on my tinfoil hat, I feel like
all these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
But I feel like because of the political situation and between the US and China and all those guys, you know how a lot of companies had to pull out of the China being the factory of the world.
Giggity.
And then people wanting to build their own PCs, there was an increase in supply and demand without the increase of supply.
Mm-hmm.
And then you heard the whole debacle with the electrical like chips in within the processors that you could tell the difference quality between some graphics cards manufacturing on the Nvidia side. And remember that whole debacle?
Nope.
I don't. Like I said, I'm not very caught up with this whole happening.
There was a whole story like because there were this is my theory. It's a lot of things, and then a lot of the miners, the bots, the miners for people with the bitcoins that they released that the new graphics card could better mine their bits,
Mm-hmm.
And it was just crazy. And then big governments, I wouldn't be surprised if sponsored big governments would buy out some of the graphics cards. May that be China or other countries. That's my theory.
So?
Like it just the world's crazy right now, and then it's been crazy, and then it didn't help that there was a virus around.
I mean, I do have two coworkers who they nonstop, day in and day out, talk about GPUs every single day when they meet up.
Where are these guys? Can I? No, I'm just kidding. I used to be a graphics
You're
card
both
snob.
single, if you're wondering.
I'm single too. What am I telling? I mean, is that one of those guys? Me?
You know exactly what that meant when you asked.
I know. Yes, I know. But yeah, no. I like when you saw me back in 2015, I was being a snob even since then. But I didn't get into building a PC. 2017, 2018. I was with another guy, with Mr. J. We were on our second build or third build of our PC, but it was just yeah, right. Everyone there was like extra thick. But that's just my theory regarding the GPUs. It's just so crazy. The world's crazy, and it's been crazy. The COVID was just an extra icing on top. Unfortunately.
Although to be fair to NVIDIA, they've always had GPU shortages for a while, like even before COVID.
I don't remember.
The Bitcoin rush, right?
No, they discovered like it decreased. I mean, how long ago are you talking about? Like, do you have like a specific model reference?
I think it's from the 2080 models, the 2060s, 2070s, 2080s. That's kind of when they started to have those shortages.
Okay. Personally,
do you remember when Animal bought it bought the, what was it, a 2060? I think he bought a 2060 Ti. He just bought it YOLO. We were at
With
Microsoft.
no,
It was the most expensive one, the 2080 Ti.
Yeah, he bought
with
it
no
on the
with
spot.
no motherboard, nothing, no power supply
No,
consideration.
he had
right?
the computer. He was just like,
But
he
what
just
about
bought it.
the
He-
power supply?
He
Yeah.
has he had all the other parts. He was just like, should I buy this, guys? And we are like, no. And he was like, I want this. I need to buy it.
Knowing Animal, he'd do that. He'd do that. I can see that.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's always building computers since like he was young. So like, he was just like, I could upgrade. I want to buy it, and he did it.
I respect that.
And then the best part is after he bought it, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this.
He bought it with credit.
He bought it with credit, yeah.
But yeah, the two guys that I know from work, they are always constantly buying like the newest on like the biggest like GPUs and everything. And half the time they buy it just to like buy it, the other time
resell
just, like, no, they only
Oh.
resell.
So
Well, not
they're
till-
GPU
not till
connoisseurs.
Not till after they've used it for a long time. But yeah, they are GPU connoisseurs, and they also love running benchmarks.
Again, are you talking about me? Sounds that's one like the thing that I love most on the PC is running benchmarks.
You'd
Yeah,
probably
no,
get along with them pretty
Yeah.
well. They're fun guys to hang out with.
Do they meme a
Yeah.
lot?
They're good drinkers.
Oh, not only do they drink,
But they sip on that tea.
sure.
You sound confused.
They definitely don't drink tea.
Exclusively.
Tea is my department.
Hold on.
Okay. Now back to the last one, number 4. Is it?
AR.
Okay. Number 4.
ARA.
ARGs. Okay, so commonly on nature excursions, people go missing. Stranger still, they reappear even though they're marked as deceased.
Not disease.
Deceased. You know, they walk out of the forest with a strange itch in the weird places.
They got a strange disease. It's called dead.
Oh man, guys, you'll never believe it, but last week John got the weirdest disease ever. Oh yeah? What disease? Death.
The incurable one. Okay, here it goes. There's a series on YouTube, right? This is basically a shout out to that guy. I like his work. I'm not.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, regarding an investigator following a series of disappearances in national parks of the United States. The video that I want to point out is of people vanishing a long time, and authorities call off their search. And after that, after a long time, these individuals come back with weird stories, with a weird story to tell. And then they referenced it. The biggest one that I want to highlight is of a college student. He was like 22. No. 20, I think 21. And he was an avid nature hiker. He liked to go hiking. He was going to go, what's that, ski hiking around the Great Lakes in Illinois. And
Skiing?
no, not skiing. Like, he doesn't go up mountains. He goes
Snowboarding?
No, he goes with the skis and hikes like in Finland and all those places. But in the United States, that heavy snow has fallen. He doesn't use snowshoes.
Very much in Europe. That is not the United States.
I know. Words are hard. But yeah, so he basically hikes, but on heavy snow. That's his that's his
skis on?
shtick. Yeah, with skis. He doesn't go down mountains. He hikes across trails.
So
with
he
his-
skis up a mountain.
No, he doesn't. You know what I mean, on heavy snow, but he doesn't ski the mountains. And he was going to go a solo trip around a big lake that had heavy snowfall. He said he was going to be gone for a week and that's it, right? 3 days in, some snow snowboard. No, the ones that like to go on snow machines. Snow. What are those guys? Snowmobiles. There we go. They were also doing their own, like ATVs, but in the snowmobiling.
Yeah.
And they find a backpack, a set of skis, and a set of walking sticks along the side of the lake, and they see the trail. Like, this is weird, and they look for a person. They think that the individual fell in the under the frozen lake.
Mm-hmm.
Right away, they call the park authorities and the authorities. On the spot, once they put tracking dogs, and they put a big group of people to look over the lake, because the lake was frozen over.
Yeah.
And they had to break the lake and put in a sonar to see if they can find something. Didn't find
lake
it.
Should have let it go.
Yeah, they just didn't find him, and they did a grid search with bloodhounds. The bloodhounds did a full a 360 search.
That was cool.
Sat on the spot where the backpack was left, and and no heavy snowfall, just packed snow. There was around a foot or 2 feet of snow in the area on average. The guy was gone. No boots, nothing. The guy just literally went to the edge of the lake, gone. And he left his backpack, his skis, and his walking sticks. They call off the search after 2 weeks. 13 months later, the guy reappears. This was, let's say, around Seattle. He reappears in Pennsylvania, knocking on his dad's door.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Even though he was marked dead, and they had a funeral for him and everything, and he reappeared, and he's like, he had on no jacket, he had on marathon clothes, he had not a backpack, a drawstring backpack with stickers and all those things from different areas of the United States, California, from Boston, from New York, from Florida, and he had running clothes on, like from a hot weather, like a marathon clothes on. He had only socks on, no shoes, and he only had shorts, no wallet, nothing.
Did he have a phone?
No, nothing. He said that he appeared 40 miles away in Philadelphia in an open field, not in winter, in somewhat spring, but it's cold, right? He knew he kind of knew where he was. He walked to the nearest payphone and called his uncle. The gas station guy told him, "Oh, you're in Philly." Because the guy thought he was drugged out of his mind. And he knew his uncle's phone number, and his uncle was 10 miles away, and his dad was 40 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the dad went to the national park where he disappeared and searched for him. Salutations, Marcos here. This is a message to all the listeners out there. There are links in the show notes for our Twitter, email, and even show notes. Any questions or ideas for the podcast can be sent via these links. Now, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Didn't find him. And he says, how did you get all the way, how far is it from Washington State all the way to Philly? 3,000 miles? 4,000 miles?
That is essentially going from from coast to coast.
Yes.
Literally.
And he said he didn't know how he got dressed. He didn't know how he didn't have shoes on. He only had socks. And he had a marathon clothing on.
And he has no recollection of the past year that he was missing?
He even had somebody else's wallet.
Huh. Did they say whose wallet?
No, they didn't say. And he had $40 in his wallet, in that wallet. And allegedly, he still had that paper that he participated in a marathon in California.
Did anybody double check? If
This was in 2000. It says the video. I'm gonna butcher the dates. I'm not gonna even try because that there's 3 stories. And this is one of them. I'm not gonna tell the other, but that's the example that I'm trying to say. This investigator does research from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 2000s. I shared the playlist completely there as well. There's another one that he fought that's a spin-off or an even more niche section of the missing people. He titled this The Missing 411. There's another book that he published 8 books already. He started publishing these books in the 90s. And the spin-off that he said that he also created of investigating missing and deceased in this even more niche section, deceased people are of men disappearing from bars and reappearing on lakes, drowned, but with no water in their lungs.
So how many cases are in this video that you
The playlist? Or the one that I'm talking about, the disappearing and reappearing alive?
The first one. I'm curious to know how many cases are in the disappearing bars
and then reappearing months later, right?
Yeah. How many
At
cases
least 3
For each one?
that he shared on the playlist. It says 3 stories, but there's an entire book. This YouTuber shares 3 stories each time. He created the entire playlist. But there's books and books. He only gives the highlights. The investigator, I forgot his name, but the books are titled The Missing 411. He has thousands and thousands upon stories about people, some of them not appearing, some of them reappearing, some of them being found, bodies being found, some of them being men, some of them being little children, some of them being women.
Sounds like a case of murder without just without having to
Yes, you're right. And then there's the one with the men. Specifically, these have happened mostly to men. And it's called The Sobering Reality. That book specifically. It's these men are witnessed with a lot of people in the bar. They just disappear from the bar, or they're going home walking because they're drunk, and they're never seen again. They are seen again. They're never seen again alive. They're found floating on the water because these disappearances happen near big bodies, cities, and big bodies of water. There's been a bunch happening in Delaware, a bunch happening in the Illinois, a bunch of them happening in Chicago, all those places where there's a big body of water. And one of the theories of this individual is that the writer, not of the YouTuber, is that there's a group of serial killers.
It does seem like it.
It's too consistent.
A group of serial killers
that are well resourced.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of that trope where it's like deranged, eccentric, rich person who like dresses up like a British explorer and hunts people for sport.
Like in Jumanji?
Yeah, like in Jumanji. Yeah, that's what this reminded me of, like a real life example of that.
Have you guys seen
I have a different kind of movie.
There's a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? The Most Dangerous Game.
Is it?
Let me see. There's 2. There's it's when he's like, I'll tell you. Hold up.
But yeah, that's what this is reminding me of. It's creepy. I'll be sure to let you guys know if I ever need a deep dip while we're at the bar together. Post COVID, I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm dipping. If I don't come back in 7 minutes, assume I've been kidnapped by the.
And we live near a big body of water.
Not really. Yeah, we live near a big body of water, but we don't live near Delaware.
You got a point there. My breath smells weird.
Did you eat something weird for your breath to smell weird?
Pizza Hut.
Damn, why would you?
Nice.
Two completely different reactions. Why would you eat Pizza Hut? Nice.
There's much better.
My family wanted stuffed crust pizza.
Oh man, that reminds me of the time when I went to visit a friend in in Lebanon, in New Hampshire, and there was a Pizza Hut.
Lebanon's a different country.
No, it's Lebanon. They pronounce it Lebanon over there, but it's Lebanon.
Okay.
I went to visit a friend there, and we got Pizza Hut from this Pizza Hut there.
Uh-huh.
It was nice fun, yeah. But they messed up our order, and they gave us like coupons for a free pizza. So I stayed at this friend's place for about a week. So like half the week, we just ate nothing but bread and pizza from Pizza Hut, and it was awful. But the funny part is that a couple of months later, he found out and told me that Pizza Hut we bought pizza from and got free pizza from was actually a front for like a drug dealing chain.
What?
Apparently, if you ordered the special pizza at that Pizza Hut, you would get like pizza with like weed or cocaine. I forget what it was. Wild, right?
Yeah. So you guys were only getting regular pizza, but if you asked special pizza,
they would have given us the hard stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Still wild though, like because that Pizza Hut seemed normal when we went there. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I mean,
the only thing that was weird, and this is me personally. It's just like you know how people in more rural areas are friendlier than normal. It always feels weird when people are too friendly.
Yeah,
I think
it's because you've been tainted by the big city.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, but it's also like there's like a level of friendliness towards someone you don't know.
Oh,
and
I found
like it starts getting creepy.
Sidebar. I found the name of the movie, from Jean-Claude Van Damme. It came out in 1993. It's called Hard Target.
Hard Target. Who's Jean-Claude Van Damme again?
An 80s famous bodybuilder, like along the lines of Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, those kind of people.
Was he a wrestler too, or not?
Have you heard about the movie Street Fighter?
Yes? Question mark? The 2000 one?
Live action
one.
Yeah, like the 2000 one. There's only been one. I thought there was one in the 80s.
1994.
Yeah, and then there was the one recently. Like it must have been in the last decade or 15 years.
Are you talking about the revamped Mortal Kombat that they're making?
No, the old one, the 1994 one.
Like where it ended with Ryu being like the last end credit.
Or have you heard about the movie Time Cop?
Time Cop sounds familiar, but I don't have any face to match with.
1994 or Bloodsport.
Ooh, that does sound familiar, but again, I don't have anyone to match to the movie.
It's Jean-Claude Van Damme, the face of the movie Bloodsport.
I'm gonna clickety-clackety look him up.
Look up Bloodsport, specifically that one. $1988. It's the cover. Literally, that's him, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, this dude.
He's like staples up with Mr. Arnold and.
Did he play the Russian in Rocky 5?
No, that's someone else, right? Lionheart, Kickboxer, Time Cop, Hard Target. That's the one that I'm talking about. The Manhunt.
I love his crazed face in this one image where his nose is bleeding and like he's like yelling out a nice roar. It seems like
because he got blinded in that one in Kick. I mean, that's the movie itself. No.
Do you want to put this image in the show notes? It's a pretty good image.
Yes. He gets kicked in the side of the head right there in that movie scene. That's classic 80s. Prime 80s, early 90s.
Need to catch up with my classic 80s.
But yeah, no, that was that's what I'm thinking for what's going on with the guys. But you know what's worse, my theory? It could be girls, no?
I'd be about that. No,
all these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
And if you survive, you enjoy
extra thick.
There are 4 letters in the first 4 letters of McDonald's.
But yeah, no. I mean, still, no. People are showing up dead. I feel like I shouldn't be joking about that, so I'm not.
I mean,
But still, yeah.
that's pretty funny. And like enough time has passed, right?
The most recent one happened in their appearances that he reported one was in 2020,
Oh,
and she got found. Not a long time later. She got found 3 months later. It was a girl. She literally was instead of going to school during quarantine, she would stay at home. But as a routine, she would go out for coffee, right? And she lived in a secluded area in Washington. And she went to a little small town coffee shop. They see her in CCTV cameras go to the coffee shop, and then like she didn't go to class. She didn't sign in to class. She just CCTV shows her just driving into the city, into the highway next to a forest. A patrol car finds the car on the side of the road, and they find her wallet there, a flashlight missing, because she has like an emergency kit that breaks the glass, and there's a flashlight. They find the how do you say estuche in English? The cover or the case.
The case, yeah.
The case opened, and it had flares and all those things, but it was, you can tell by the figure that it was a thing that breaks the glass, breaking in case of emergencies when you fall into the water or cuts the seatbelt. She took that and took a Bible, because and just went into she was a religious kind of girl, and they didn't find her. They took bloodhounds to the site and couldn't find her. And then they found her 3 months later, like 20 miles away next to a creek, and reading her Bible book, naked too. Reading her Bible book, and she said she was in a daze. She just
I wonder what drug they're hitting these people with to just have them just regain conscious in like the weirdest moments. She didn't know how long she was out there. She thought she went to the coffee shop, and then she woke up sitting next to the riverside naked. That must be really scary. And she had her Bible at hand and a flashlight, and she was just surviving, drinking off water out of the river and eating some berries out there. This is kind of a tangent. Sidebar. Okay. Sidebar. Yeah. Recently, I learned that if you're ever in a situation where you are stranded in the middle of the ocean, and you need to survive, here's what you do. Don't. Just don't. No.
Wait. Sorry. Just a quick question on that. Like stranded in the middle of the ocean, like on an island or on a raft? On a raft.
Okay.
On a raft. Think a boat, raft, whatever. If you're adrift on like semi-suitable enough, in this case, we'll say a raft. Yes. I think in the story itself, it was a boat. Anyway, if you're stranded, here's what you need to do. Ingesting water makes your stomach sick, makes your body sick. Taking enemas absorbs the water you need without the diarrhea side effects. What? I'll try to find the story because I don't remember the exacts, so we can get it in the show notes. Mm-hmm. But there was a family in, I believe, the 70s that was part of a plane crash that led them to be stranded on a lifeboat or something. And in that family, the mother was a nurse, so she had a brilliant idea. Nurses out there. Yep, shout out to all nurses. She had the brilliant idea of keeping her family alive by giving them enemas of seagull blood and rainwater that they accumulated. That way, that they the water and the blood didn't have to go through the digestive system. It just went right into their pooper. Don't you get poisoned still if the thing has It doesn't affect you as much as it would if you ingest it. Understood.
Because of the bacteria and everything that lives in your intestines?
The poop area. Yeah, because it's already in the poop area. I don't remember the exacts, but it saved them. They were adrift for 36 days, I want to say. Damn.
and they survived.
But enemas. I think you need like a pill
Yeah,
or
you
something, right?
No, you specifically. She used. It was a makeshift tube that she used.
A hose.
It wasn't a hose. It was a
Okay.
makeshift tube or something. I forgot what it was. Again, I don't remember the specifics, but it's
Something
It's
to
wild.
emulate like a tube. What is it called? You know that thing they use for like turkeys, like a toothpaster.
A paste.
you could say that. I guess. Yeah. The turkey base. You mean the Canadian squirt guns?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That ain't a
Yeah.
turkey baster. That's
Keep
a
in mind, if you're ever stranded, just poisonous things up your booty.
So, do you think they became closer as a family, or did this consolidate them to never
At
talk?
some point, you just become so delirious and like so desperate to survive, you don't care about things like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like if you're stranded in some place with no food for days on end, you're basically almost willing to like just eat anything to survive.
Even other people.
They luckily did not have to turn to cannibalism because they got
But
enough.
there's precedent, right? With
You know what would have been sad about that though? It would have been the mom or dad who would have been doing that to like, cutting up
Yeah.
their body parts to give to their kids.
That's
Yeah.
definitely what happened.
no, yeah. You're
But they lived, so yeah.
The original story of Moby Dick is a perfect example that the survivors of the shipwreck had to eat the guy that the weakest guy that died. They had to eat his body. Imagine
Sure, I guess.
cannibalism is just or the flight. Remember the Argentinian flight that was in the Andes.
yes, I do remember that one. They ended up turning to like how many people had been eaten by the time they were found?
There was like a team, a rugby team, right? And then like they had to eat like a little bit over half. Imagine all the, oh my gosh. I'm not even going to think about that. Oh.
It's supposed to taste like pig from.
Swine.
All right,
But yeah, no. I feel like I should.
that's scary though. One second you're at a bar or like getting coffee, and then next thing you know, you're naked at a lake with a Bible in hand.
Actually, here's
Yeah.
an even scarier thing. Although there's a potential to be attributed to drugs, but I'll tell the whole story.
Okay,
This
yes.
was like an actual case I read about like a while back. It happened years ago. It was I think it was in Las Vegas or something, where it was about this lady who was found in a water tank. You know those tanks that they put above like
The
buildings.
Asian girl?
Was it an Asian girl? I don't remember.
She was Canadian,
was-
that's for sure.
Well, it was that like she was at a hotel, like she was staying at a place, and they said that she had disappeared, and that 3 days later they found her inside a water tank. And when they checked the security cameras, they saw her like naked, like getting on an elevator and just like standing there for like a while, and then she just goes up to like the roof and then just like disappears. And then when they checked later, it turned out she had drowned inside the water tank, and the only reason they found that she died there was because the water was starting to come out like really weird and gross.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just a heads up, if your water goes black and you don't know why, potentially it's because there's a body in the water source.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that part. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and they said when they checked her body and everything, they said they didn't find any drugs or anything, or like any like someone like trying to drown her or something.
Wasn't this in California?
I don't remember. I feel like it was in Las Vegas. It's an hotel. I'm
I
gonna check
feel
right
like-
now.
But yeah, there was the camera that she wasn't naked, but she was like super
They're
weird.
just like out of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That sounds like drugs to me.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was in Los Angeles.
Oh, I thought California.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just be careful when you go out into national parks. If it's not the bears,
Or
if it's
hotel
not
elevators.
or hotel elevators, yeah. It's just weird. It's just there was another story. This was from a specific animal sighting. In Vermont. This gentleman was he would drive he liked to play video games, right? But his controller died. He had an Xbox 360. and his battery died for his controller. So he went to Walmart, right? Walmart, as you do, right? At like a 24-hour Walmart, like around 1 o'clock in the morning. And he went, got a big battery pack, a set of batteries, and was driving back. He had a Subaru, the one that's like a little pickup. I forgot the name of those. Kind of Subaru.
Oh wait, like the mini pickups, like the like miniature ones. Oh man, Japanese ones, right?
Baja. They're called Baja, I think. Subaru Baja models.
It's really adorable.
I like those. And he was driving back, and he lived in the mountainous area, rural area. He says that he literally goes. He also is packing a 9mm with him, because America, right? He drove. He kept driving down the road, and he stopped because he thought he saw a bear. No, this is a bear. This is not, not out of the normal. But the thing is that it wasn't a bear. The hind legs were bear shaped, but the front legs were raccoon shaped, and this bear was bigger than his Subaru vehicle. Like the hump of its shoulder, like a grizzly bear, was taller than the hood of his car. The head was taller than the hood of than the window that he was sitting next to, and he was like 20 feet away from it. The thing literally slinked across the road, and it looked smooth. Like it wasn't like a bear, or it looked like a hybrid between a bear, a dog, and a raccoon. And they did research of what kind of animal it could have been, and there's in the archaeological record a predecessor of a bear and dog that lived in this continent. The thing is, it's supposed to be extinct, and they did research, and they think that this animal could be this up to 7 feet on the shoulders, on 4 legs, and they found that historically this thing could be as big as a cow or a buffalo, or as small as a coyote. In the archaeological records that they've had, and they lived all across the United States. And if it was alive, it could easily climb trees, go up walls without any issues. It could climb like a raccoon and be as big as a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how violent raccoons are, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty violent. So they're saying that this guy's theory that it could be one of these animals that a lot of people are confusing for Bigfoot. And the thing is that this animal is perfectly suitable to camouflage, or to just disappear a person without a problem. Like yoink, and the guy's dead, the individual's dead. Kids, men, women, without a problem. This thing just yoinks them and can just eat them without a problem. And it's a land animal in the American continent. And he says, like, I was scared that my 9mm was not going to be enough.
Yeah, that sounds scary too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so imagine going to, I don't want to imagine, just fruit for thought. If it's not bears, it's not freaking wolves, pumas, or deer or buffalo. No, I'm being sarcastic. Pumas or cougars.
Fanman likes those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's just, if it's true, like, you know how people like archaeologists or Indiana Jones kind of people like literally die for their
Indiana Jones kind of people.
You know what I mean, like nature explorers, all those things. There's a lot of those that succumbed.
Very few people look as handsome as Harrison Ford.
Yeah, right. That succumbed to their what they loved, like.
You said
that are eaten, like the guy that loved Bearman. He loved bears and he got eaten by bears.
Man, bear, pig.
Just, there's still monsters out there, and some of them aren't animals. They're people sometimes.
I mean, a 7-foot person is already imposing enough, but like a 7-foot bear
On 4 legs. Not on 2 legs. On 2 legs,
Bears
this
are
thing was
pretty
like
big.
11 feet. The grizzlies are like the size of a polar bear. Some brown bears.
Never make light of a bear. They will murder you.
Yeah. But yeah, so any opinions, thoughts?
That would be horrific if I ever ran into that in real
It
life.
would be unbearable for me.
Yeah. And all these animals that live out there are the predatory animals, are animals of if they see you weak, if they see you tripping, they're gonna try to take you. They're animals of opportunity.
That's why you got to stand your ground and be like, I ain't no bitch.
And you gotta be strapped.
That's when you start T-posing on them.
And you have to be strapped with
I mean, yes, being strapped would definitely like help you with that false confidence and bravado, the reckless bravado needed to scare off some animals like that. But T-posing, as dumb as it is, the idea is always try to make yourself look bigger, as big as possible.
What animal does that work on again?
A lot, I want to say.
A mountain lion, I think that's the main one. I mean, grizzly bears. That guy stands 11 feet tall on his hind legs. Good luck trying to make yourself look bigger than him.
It's not supposed to be bigger than him. It's just you're supposed to make yourself look like a threat. So if they attack
Like
you,
you're more
they'll get
dominant. Kind of thing.
Oh.
So if they'll attack you, you'll get hurt, and that's usually the thing. You want to just scare them off, intimidate them off.
Like, I'm gonna get hurt if I mess with them.
Of
Like
course,
bigger doesn't always mean scarier. It's just the threat of it.
it's the threat that you're a threat to them, and they don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
it's like with animals in general, they're scared as you. They're as scared of you as you are of them. So just don't mess with them.
Yeah,
Like
just
if
leave
I
them
saw that in the wild, I would I don't know if I would be more curious to try and snap a picture of it, or if I should be more fearful and just drive away in the opposite direction.
I'd probably
Punch it,
drive the
Chewie.
opposite direction. I'd be like, I'm gonna leave that alone. Bye.
Yeah, because like I said, and this is what an Australian once said: "Don't fuck with animals; they won't fuck with you." That's
True,
why.
true.
That's how people are able to survive in Australia.
Literally.
Although there was
That's
one
not true.
guy, he didn't intentionally mess with the grizzly bear, but
Huh?
this guy, he got charged and attacked by this grizzly bear, brown bear. Let's just call it brown bear. Even though I'm not.
Oh yeah, your boy, little bear.
Yeah, right. And this guy, he said he was getting kicked. Hit
Friend of
around.
Turtle.
Yeah, he. You know what he did in order to survive? He killed the bear with
He did?
Yeah, you know what he did?
What did he do?
He punched the bear down the throat, grabbed its tongue, and the bear was like, "What the?" And he with his other hand, with a knife, started stabbing around the throat area until he punctured the jugular and opened his throat.
Wow.
And the park rangers find a bloody guy, literally because he got half the side of his head was falling off because he got bear swiped.
Yeah, his hand. He must have lost a lot of his arm to do that, because his arm was just in the bear's mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess at that point, you might as well sacrifice an arm just to stay alive.
Just stay alive.
He freaking stabbed the bear to death. It was him or the bear.
Poor bear, but also understandable.
I mean, by that point, I think you can hang that bear. I killed that bear with my bare hands. No, with a knife.
It was basically a situation of, help, someone call an ambulance, but not for me.
It is exactly that situation.
And the guy walked away. Literally, he's he walked away. Or the guy that killed the mountain lion. Remember that he choked it to death? I think
It's the perfect example of when someone tells you, "Damn, you look pretty bad," and then you respond with, "You should see the other guy."
the other guy's dead. No, but the guy was bloody. The bear guy. The bear was 500 pounder. And then the mountain lion, I don't know how big. I think it was a juvenile, but still not a professional killer compared to a regular a big boy mountain lion. But the guy literally choked it to death.
Wowzers.
Which one would you prefer to be? Like to be the survivor of a mountain lion attack and killing your aggressor, or a bear attack and killing your aggressor?
I think in terms of like big dick energy, it'd be surviving the bigger beast. But like, I think I would feel bad killing either one.
But at that point,
the mountain lion.
they're scrappy and
Yeah,
fast.
they're like smaller and harder to catch. So if you're able to like grab it and fight it and kill it,
Let's just
Probably
choke it
more.
out. Imagine trying to grab a cat and then trying to choke out a cat.
I'd rather not.
I tried. I didn't try to choke out this animal, but I caught a
remember, we
rabbit.
do not support animal cruelty on this podcast.
Yes,
Unless
we do
that
not.
animal, it's animal with a cross,
Uppercase A.
uppercase A and cross at the end of the name.
We always laugh like
On Discord, yeah. They're talking about a guy on Discord. He's a fun guy. Hopefully we'll have him on the podcast in the future. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Huh.
he'd probably be
That's
waking up right by now.
But yeah, no, literally my only animal story that I can feel proud of, not even feel proud of, that I can just, brag, I guess, is that I caught a rabbit with my bare hands.
Oh yeah.
I caught him, and then I caught him from his ears, not from his neck, from his ears, and just lifted him. He scratched me up. Rabbits have claws, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they have claws in their feet and their paws.
Yeah, it hurt.
every animal has.
Their rabbit bites. Oof.
I was like 11 or 12 years old. No, 10 years old, I think. And I was by this was in Mexico. How do you call those the water source areas, Richard? The tanks, the water tanks.
I don't remember what they're called.
Because in Mexico, a lot of the places don't have per se a faucet everywhere. You have a big receptacle of water where you can wash your dishes outside or your clothes.
Mhm.
There's receptacles. I was by that receptacle just picking up some water, my bucket of water, right? I forgot for what. I was running a chore and doing chores, and I look behind me, and there's I think a white rabbit or a black rabbit. He was just walking around, not hopping, just walking around, and goes around the corner. And here you see me like tiptoeing down the yard, tiptoeing, and I'm tiptoeing. I see him, and he's just chilling, minding his own business. I don't scream. I just slowly get my hands closer and closer. I'm like, should I do this? And
Should
like,
you?
I feel like that's where Morgan
Should you?
Friedman
Should
told
you?
me.
I
And this
could
is
not.
I feel like that's the part where Morgan Friedman told me. And this is the part where he realized he messed up. And they caught the rabbit.
And
yeah.
this story is where he realized he done messed up.
Yep. Morgan Freeman?
When keeping it real goes wrong.
But yeah, that's the most I messed with animals. And I met him in high school with uppercase A. Okay, so I feel like now for food, I feel like Fanman already started with the pizza. How was that pizza?
It was pizza-licious.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of food, I just had some tortas.
Mexican sandwiches, right?
That is
Yeah.
racist.
It's not racist. You're just where's the racist part of it?
I don't know. I just randomly just say that.
You're like, that's racist. It's not.
That's all racist.
Did you homemade or did you buy them from one of the local area stores? Richard,
What is it, man?
did you buy them or did you make it at home? Were they homemade? Nice.
They were made with
Love.
quetzalcoatl, which is kind of like spiced ham.
Yeah, I don't know why they say cheese. It's not a cheese.
Not a cheese, no. It really is just like spiced ham.
Yeah, that's the best word.
Some quesillo,
Cheese.
Which
string
is-
cheese.
string cheese. Yep, it's like a more stringy mozzarella cheese.
Mexican style.
and some papalo. Papalo is an herb.
Yeah.
Think of it like would be the closest. Kale. Can we compare it to kale?
No. Rosemary.
No, it definitely doesn't compare to rosemary. I'd say kale.
Let's go with kale.
Rosemary's too small and too much of like a spice.
I guess, yeah. I've heard it. Papalo helps for digestion. So
Yeah, I've heard that too. I'm not sure if it's true, but there's a lot
this
of
is
like
just hearsay, though.
yeah, there's a lot of like old wives' tales. Like
Wives' tale. Yes, yes.
A lot in the Spanish community, there's always a lot of old wives' tales.
like when you make tamales, you're supposed to tie up the handle so that all the tamales get cooked inside the pot.
Or put a penny at the bottom, right? If it starts
That's more practical though. Like tying up the handles because you're tying up the pot's ears so it doesn't hear any bad things.
They called ears. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a torta with that. It had beans and some nice
Refried or fresh off homemade?
They were mashed beans.
Oh, homemade or canned? That's what
yeah,
I meant.
homemade.
Yeah, respect.
Mashed.
Any pickled jalapeno peppers?
Yeah, pickled jalapeno peppers. You know what's up? La Morena. Shout out to La Morena.
Yes. I don't know. I've seen La Costeña, but I've never tried them. I'm brand loyal to La Morena.
La Morena.
Are you brand loyal to pickled jalapeno peppers? Fanman?
Nope. I don't really eat much peppers. Not really a fan of peppers.
Pickled peppers?
Probably was.
Probably less. You know why we have, like, in Mexico, there's a lot of, well, where I live, and I feel like Richard and I are from the same region. My family.
Yeah.
The same valley, more or less. We're valley people, right, in Mexico. But yeah, like the refrigerators back in the day was a luxury.
Yes.
So it's easier to pickle things. Like in our case, it was jalapeno peppers because there's also pickled fruits over there and pickled legs. What's the name of that one? Pork legs.
Pickled Ricks. Hey.
Yeah.
He turned himself into a pickle. He calls it Pickle Rick. Funniest thing I've ever seen.
But yeah. And then you can't go wrong with well, I feel like there should be a whole episode of the spicy things that from our hometown over there.
Should be, yeah.
But yeah,
we
for
finish
me,
this podcast. I'm about to dip myself into some more spice seeds. Hey, some semillas.
Yes, please. Bon appetit. By the way, did you have any of that apple salad that your grandma went by, asking?
From the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished that the last time I was on the podcast.
You're like, Grandma. Her grandma was just wanting to share anybody want some apple salad?
It's like, I do.
Yeah, that was good. That's awesome. Shout out to Richard's grandma who makes an awesome apple salad.
Mi abuelita.
Yes. But yeah, for me personally, I had enchiladas at home over here.
Oh, nice.
The red ones, not the
red ones.
Yeah. Red ones.
Recently, I've been having a lot of the enchiladas de mole.
Respect.
Oh, this is so good. Mole is a kind of like a curry. Yeah, you could probably classify it as a curry. It's a curry made with chocolate and peppers.
Yeah, I'd say it's curry because it has all those spices as well, like curry.
Yeah, it's spices
and everything nice.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the perfect ingredients chosen to make the perfect noodles. But Professor Utonium added an extra ingredient: chemical extreme,
extra thick.
Just like that. Do you guys want to get into the anime talking part of the?
And this is the anime segment.
That was a terrible segue right there.
What? Oh, a terrible segue. On top of it.
What?
terrible segue is the segue you see in the mall with a cop on top of it.
No, all segues are terrible, including my own.
All terribles are segue.
Yes.
All segues are terrible.
And dangerous.
But not all terribles are segues.
Anyways, anime. Brought to you
So
by
what-
anime. So,
Sponsored by
anime. Anime.
Sponsored
Anime.
Novel Pacer.
Also by
What?
NordVPN.
Oh, no. Sponsored. This part is sponsored by me. There's a merch store now, by the way, guys.
Oh, word?
Yeah, 3 designs and a lot of shirts and stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, just shout out to the merch store. 2021 merch store. Richard.
The shirts.
Yeah, Mike, Fanman, Richard. Hopefully, we can get your design ideas as well.
Oh, yeah. I guess we could tease that a little.
Just tease it. You already know.
We're working on a design that Marcos has laid the groundwork for.
Mhm.
Should be coming out pretty soon.
I'm
Looking
also
to be very spacious,
spacious.
spectacular.
I'm also trying to work with a coat of arms, something like that. Like try to make a coat of arms. Right now, 3 designs got approved. Copyright and all those things.
Yeah.
They're super simple, except the first one. I feel like the first one was the original, the podcast one. That one, since it was my original one, it got approved super quickly.
Nice.
The other 2 were just different fonts and different colors. It was nothing fancy, but because it was so simple, the copyright just went through without an issue.
Yay.
So- Yes. So I'm trying to put in more designs.
Whoa, hey, that's it for part 1.
What? There's a part 2 then, right?
Of course.
Okay, guys, stay tuned for part 2 of this podcast. By the way, what's the release schedule, Josue?
Well, depending on what it is, the next level could be either Thursday or next week, Tuesday.
Okay, so me, the editor, I'll try to make sure, delirious over here. I'll try to make sure that I'll release it at an early time every Tuesday and Thursday on East Coast time.
So that means if you're on the West Coast, you're about 4 hours behind.
The West Coast, really?
Yes, the West Coast. I said the West Coast? Oh, I meant the West Coast.
This is staying in.
This is staying in.
This is gold. But anyways, listeners, until next
Please.
time,
Stay tuned.
stay frosty.
Oh, I don't like Frosty.
Hi there. Thank you for tuning in to the LTS Podcast. All the notes and more can be found in the description. By the way, we have a social media page where content is posted regularly. Feel free to reach out at us through there or via email. Both are found in the description. When you support the show, we have a merch store where you can buy an item that you like. If buying merch is not your thing and you just want to support the show directly, we also have links to those too, if you'd like. Thank you. Also, every comment is really appreciated. Credits in the description as well. Peace.